Hey guys, in this video I am going to show you how to piece a quilt block. And when you piece a quilt block, I recommend using a 1/4 inch quilting foot, and I will put the link for the one I use below. To get started piecing a quilt, if you'll notice, I have my block laid out in my this is just a simple 9-patch quilt block in Christmas fabric. And what I am going to do is I'm going to be working on this top row right here. So I will just set the other 2 rows to the side for a second. And I will be working on the top row. What I'll do is I will take the two first fabric squares, and I will take it and I will just lay them facing together. And I will take this over to my sewing machine, and I will stitch along this edge with my 1/4 inch quilting foot. And I like to set my stitch length when I'm piecing a quilt to 1.5 or 1.5, because that to me creates a nice, tight, secure stitch. So, just stitch. And when I go to cut my thread, I like to leave a little, like maybe at least a 1/4 inch little tail. And I don't take this to the ironing board just quite yet to press my seams. So I will just take my finger and I'll just run my finger and finger press the seam open. And when you go to press your seams, you can either press them open or to the side, but on this one I'm going to press it open. And now you'll take your other piece of fabric for the row and you will lay it up against your second square. And stitch. And I will do the same thing. I will finger press this one. Okay, now I am done with the top row. And you can go ahead and take this over to your ironing board and press your seams. But I will finish my other 2 rows and before I do that. Now that I have my 3 rows sewed together, I will press each of these seams. Now that I have pressed the seams, I will start sewing the rows together. So I will start with the top 2 rows. And you lay them facing each other. And I like to line up the seams first on my squares, so I can make sure I try to get them as close to each other as possible. I will check to see. Yes, that looks pretty good. And now you will stitch this side, and don't forget to take out your pins as you stitch. And I would do the same thing for the rows as I did for my squares. I will just finger press my seams open. I would just run my finger down the finger press real quick. And I would do the same thing for sewing on the last row on the bottom. And then after I sew this row, I will press each of these seams. And now I would just stitch this seam. There, I have pressed my seams, and that is how you piece a quilt block. And you may have noticed when I was sewing this together, I didn't backstitch. And when you're piecing your quilt blocks, you don't have to backstitch because the way you stitch it, you're always sewing over other seams. So just something I forgot to tell you at the beginning. And here is, and this is a 9-patch quilt block. And I also did a couple more of the Christmas colors. And you can do the quilt blocks this way, or you can do them random. And I also did it in purple and white. And these in a little bit smaller squares. And you can do like the 9-patch. You can do them in really kind of any colors or color scheme. And you can do them random, or you can do them more organized. Because it really doesn't matter, because when you're doing a quilt, it's kind of just whatever you like, whatever your colors you like together, or the way you want it to look. Just there you have it. And there is how you piece a quilt block.